what is the babyest Control4 setup? You just have one zone, a multi-channel system,
Yeah.
TV.
So you're at about $900-ish for a little controller and have handheld remote. And so what that would get you is, the brain of the system is the little controller. It's the little component that has, IR and serial ports. It'll do network control. It runs the Control4 software. It generates a home screen on your TV screen. So it comes with high fidelity apps for all your music streaming built in. So you kind of get a really nice version of Spotify, Pandora, AirPlay, all that stuff built into the system. And it basically works with just about anything you can pull in. That little system should be able to run somewhere around 50 different, devices to control, including lights and locks and thermostat and whatever you have.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a great little system that you can start off with at one room.
And that'd be a Core. Is that the?
Yeah, it's a Core 1 with an SR260 remote.
Okay.
So that's a great little one room system, and any of the nicer remotes from the other companies are gonna be within a stone's throw of that price anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think a $200 or $300 remote's gonna give you a bulletproof control, hassle-free control of your system. So we don't really get into those at all. But those are a couple of options. I mean,
nice.
If the system's simple and you can control everything through the TV, a smart TV with even a full Sonos system is pretty simple to operate. You don't really need a third-party remote. If you get into something else, then you're right there at a mini Control4 system, and then you can grow it like crazy at any point. It's really nice that way.
Yeah, you got a lot more room to expand.
Right. I keep raving about Control4, but it's been such a good product for us. So many solutions. There's not a lot that we don't use it for. So it's been a real central piece for us.
The nice thing too that I like, if you like to tweak it up as well, you can do quite a bit as the end user. There's certain things that the dealer has to do still, but in terms of programming logic and kind of tweaking some of the operational things inside your system, the home composer, it's just really neat that they have that. And
right.
even now
So
they've even go ahead.
If anybody's wondering about that, that is a thing that comes up a lot with Control4. The do-it-yourself crowd generally resists having to rely on a dealer, and that's totally understandable. As always, find a really good dealer that you enjoy working with and that you trust, and that kind of mitigates almost all the problems we might talk about. But like Jeremy is very capable of programming things in the system, so the only reoccurring fee you have with Control4 is if you want to use the system offsite. So if you want to use the Control4 app while you're not at home, there is I think it's up to $120 a year.
Yeah, something
and
like
that gets you secure hosting for your system. It unlocks a bunch of features. So if you have to have any kind of push notifications or anything that your house is letting that it's doing while you're gone, that unlocks that feature. It also, allows you to use the app when you're not at your house. So all the smart home features, everything you can do at the house on the app, you can do while you're away. For about $50 more than that, you can get it bundled with the software, which is called Composer, for the homeowner. It's Home Composer. Mm-hmm. That's just a one-time fee, and it'll keep updating as the firmware and the operating system updates on Control4. So you basically only have to spend about $50-$60 to get into that software, and then you never have to pay for that portion of it again. That unlocks you to be able to program pretty much everything you want. Strings of programming, logic, schedules, what keypad buttons do, what remote control buttons do, all of that kind of stuff. The only thing it doesn't allow you to do is actually remove components out of the program or put them in. So if Jeremy comes
Yeah,
back and,
I bug you all the time.
yeah, we do that all the time. But basically, he'll email me. He'd be like, "Hey, I got, I swapped out my Marantz for the Anthem. Here's the IP address. Can you put the driver in?" And usually within a day,
Hmm.
hopefully less, but as soon as I can get to it, I'll log on to his system. I'll make the swap out. For get rid of his old component, put the new one in, put the IP address. I make sure it's communicating. And at that point, he's good to go. He can take it from there, and everything else he can do. So you can't add rooms, you can't add devices, but apart from that, you can pretty much do everything else with Home Composer. So if you
Yeah.
like to tweak, you can do that. Now, in between Nothing and Home Composer, there is some stuff you can do that's real simplified right on
Yeah.
the Control4 customer website. So for the casual, user who just wants to program some lighting scenes or, a schedule or change what's on a keypad button, you can do all that for free right on the Control4 site where your customer account is. And it's all if then when programming. So it's all the programming language is simplified into,
Yeah.
when this happens, do this kind of programming. So most people are able to do schedules and lighting scenes and stuff like that right on the site.